Hey everyone, Stu here with MMS. I want to take a couple of minutes here and I want to share a couple of things with you. The crazy part is that I got up this morning with the intent I wanted to do a partial book review of a book that I'm going through for the first half of it, basically. And I found myself getting distracted. I mean, it was something simple and easy enough. I thought, well, let me get woke up here, give me a cup of coffee. I'll drink a cup of coffee and look at Facebook here and answer a couple of questions uh, on on my feed. And with everything that's going on crazy in the world right now, with all the rioting and everything, a couple of things that I ended up getting sucked into, and it took an enormous amount of time and energy out of me and exhausted me really in a couple of cases. Now I need to go hit some balls and at the driving range to let some of my tension, I guess would be the best word to release. Anyway, uh, that isn't the real purpose to go out to the driving range. Driving range originally was going to be later today, and that was for me to get warmed up because I'm going to get fitted on my golf clubs on Monday. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time also. But through this whole process, what came to be very apparent is one of the things entrepreneurs need to guard against the most is distraction. Don't be distracted. Have a focus and have a deliberance about everything you do. And I've learned now that I'm going to have to be very deliberate about anything I do as far as Facebook's concerned, especially in the time that it is right now, because it's so easy to get sucked in. And with the polarization that's going on in society right now, it's just heartbreaking. That's the best way I can put it. And the only thing I will say, and then I'm going to talk about the book here in a second, is you look at somehow or another somebody can justify by the destruction of property. Because one of the things that I saw this morning was I think it was out in California that an entire Amazon warehouse is just absolutely utterly gutted and destroyed, and that's considered peaceful protest. Or is it considered rioting? Or no, let me get this right, it's considered acceptable protesting. I'm sorry, I can't reconcile that. Anyway, enough said on that. The whole reason for this video to start with had to do with this book here, Your Unique Ability 2.0 by Dan Sullivan, or the ladies that work with Dan Sullivan over at Strategic Coach. And the crazy part about this is that this particular book is an eye opener. And for somebody like me who grew up in a time that you had to be the jack of all trades and the master of none, and you did all these different things, you got to explore all these different things, and there was never really dull moments. And as a result of that, focus is not one of my strong suits in a lot of respects because of the fact if it's not something I really enjoy doing or enjoy doing at that moment, it ain't got my attention, just straight up, and that's a challenge. But then by the same token, is like, what's my unique ability? What's my gift to give the world? How do I solve problems for people? Trying like myself, I'm trying to solve a problem for myself right now, and so where am I at? I'm trying to help somebody else solve their problem. How do I find it? Where is it? And so this is an uncovering process about what are there's two different pieces. So you have the activity path and then you have the naming convention path. They tell me that from what I've read there initially, that the activities path usually takes about a week or two to get through that because you got to look at all the different activities you do that are, and then there's a rating system that you go through. And then you go through the naming convention, which can take 2 to 4 weeks, possibly even longer, depending on who you are and what your commitment and time level, effort, and energy is that you put into it. There is also a workbook I'm pointing at it across the room that's sitting over there that you go through and you got to write. So, and here's the interesting thing about writing over typing is that there's a personal, physical connection to you, your heart, your thinking when you write it. And so that's part of the commitment process on them. And I think that that's very important. And here with the channel, Modern Marketing Success, MMS Insider, this is one of the core pieces to the entire channel is different things that we're going to uncover and go through. Yeah, there's some affiliate pieces that are out there, and there's some things that help you do what you do, whether it's funnels or autoresponders, blogs, things like that. Those different pieces get covered at different times, and since the channel's in its early days, and I understand that it will come, and I'm not worried about that part of it. But what it is that it's sharing this journey, this experience of how an individual like myself, working Joe, Stu, 9 to 5, government job is what I do currently. How he managed to go from that and then get into this space and then turn his life around and create time for himself to spend with his family and do the things that he truly loves to do. And so that's really what that's all about. So that's just kind of the first initial piece on that. And I'll dive more into that a little bit later, but I did want to reveal the book to you and show you that that's kind of what we're going through right now, because it is a process that you go through. And just like anything, there's a process you need to go through to get to the end result. And more of that's going to be revealed to me as time goes on. And obviously, I'll be revealing more of that to you as that time goes on. And so really with that, I want to say thank you for your time. If you like this content, as always, subscribe, ring the bell so you always get notified whenever maybe over there. I don't know. I'll have to double check that because sometimes it mirrors, it doesn't mirror. I'm more confused than you are at this point. So if you like the content, subscribe, ring the bell so you always get notified whenever I do release anything new. I want you to have an enjoyable, blessed day. And remember, in this case, we're all united as one because we're humans. If you live in America, we're all Americans. Be an American. If you live in the UK, then you're United Kingdom, you're a Brit, Britain, Ireland, I don't know. You get my gist. Just like Australia, you're Australians. Anyway, I digress. Be who you are, and then support who you've become, and do that and give to others freely. It makes a difference because that's where the love for your fellow man comes from. And with that, we are